are back. Once again, I welcome you. I don't need to introduce myself again because you guys know already who I am. Listen, let's get right into it. I have 10 points for you about how to control pride. Let's say that again. How to control pride. Point one, let's jump right into it. We're not going to even take up too much of your time in this one because we want to dig right into it. We want to dig deep, and we want you to get these points and get these keys. Number one, overcome yourself. Perhaps one of the hardest things to recognize in ourselves is our pride. Pride can lead us to be only concerned with ourselves, seek recognition to exalt ourselves, and speak constantly without listening. My mentor tends to tell me often, you don't like to play ball unless you got the ball. You might as well have seen many arrogant people around you. They are always preoccupied with their ego, and probably you're struggling with the same traits. Many people don't realize what awaits them. If they just let go of these attitudes and move forward, instead of looking at yourselves as wise in your own eyes, let yourself be humble and willing to learn from other people. Play ball when the ball is in the hands of your teammates. Number two, identify the cause of your pride. Pride is an attitude displayed by various characteristics like independence, arrogance, high-mindedness. A prideful person is an arrogant person who feels superior over the other person. There are questions you may ask yourself in order to identify the cause of your pride, like how often do I admit I was wrong? Why do I want others to see or hear me? Or why do I have to talk about myself and my opinions so much to other people? Number three, analyze and compare your pride to reality. You could just rationalize and justify your prideful thoughts. Sometimes you just have to shut up, swallow your pride, and accept that you are wrong because it's a part of growing up. Try to compare your prideful thoughts to reality and then balance things. Number four, seek feedback. Seek feedback from people you trust to make sure that you are doing right for other people. Accept criticisms and learn from it. It is a common mistake doing everything on your own. You also need to seek feedback and use it to improve yourself. Ask them how's your attitude towards them. How do they feel about you? And what are the things they don't like about you? Thus, at this point, you'll know what and how to work on your negative sides. Number five, share credit and build others up. Recognize the contribution of other people, because once you build others up and share credit, it will cause others to want to work with you again. Lower your pride and seek help from others to get things done. Number six, be inviting to others. One of the unattractive personalities of a person is being cocky. The best way to deal with it is not to frame yourself in terms of pride and humility. Let go of your cockiness. Learn to respect the opinion of other people and how to accept criticisms. People will assume you're cocky if you're rude to people. Just because you're smarter than the person does not mean you always have to wear your cockiness on your shoulder and demean them with your smartness or degrees. Just talk politely. Be courteous to people, especially the people around you, because there's no reason for you to be rude and cocky. Number seven, I love to say this, forget the Beyonce mentality. Forget the I, me, myself. If you really want to overcome pride, be modest in your behavior. You will only look dumb if you praise yourself and boast about your achievements in life. Set aside the attitude of focusing to yourself. Don't be egocentric. Instead, learn how to think of other people's feelings towards you. Learn to dump and let go of that attitude. Number 8, be optimistic. Your prideful thoughts will lead you to prideful behavior. But if you turn all those negative thoughts into a positive one, it will eventually lead you to a positive approach that will also help you overcome arrogance and overflowing pride. Optimistic people tend to anticipate the best possible outcome in any situation. Number 9, and my mentor loves to tell us this one. Be an active listener. Instead of just thinking about yourself, try to listen to people as well. Listening is one of the most important skills you can ever have. You have to listen in order to understand and learn. Your ears were made for a purpose, so use them. Moreover, listening is a skill we can all benefit from improving. And while listening, make sure you're actively listening and you're present in the conversation. Number 10, look at the examples of humble people. We tend to look for other qualities in friends. However, it is better if you surround yourselves with humble people. Find people who will influence you with a good attitude rather than the opposite of it. Staying humble means nothing will touch you, neither praise or disgrace you, because you know what you are. Number 11, flee temptation. Many people are intimidated by the fact that they are tempted in any situation. There are 2 things you need to avoid: the people who tempt you and those tempting situations. What you need to do in order to avoid temptations is get out from it. Don't just walk away. Run. But don't fight it. Flee from it and go after the good stuff in your life instead. Dealing with prideful people is indeed tough because they do not budge easily. However, there are still ways to overcome that kind of attitude. No matter how educated, rich, or talented you are, how you treat other people is everything that matters. If you think your pride is bigger than your heart and ego is bigger than your head, better think now how to manage it, or you will be alone for the rest of your life. Remember that it is your pride and arrogance that will turn a person bad. However, you just have to deal with it and believe in yourself that you can overcome it all. See you guys in the next episode.
Did you hear about ATS week?
I did.
It's gonna be on
Is
stage.
it for real?
It's gonna be on stage.
24/7?
24/7.
No way.
Yes.
No.
You know, like Shark Week is a big deal.
Oh, okay.
Shark
I
Week is a
get
big
it now.
deal.
It took me blonde hair.
It's okay. It's okay. It's
so
okay.
So who is who? Who's it gonna be from ATS?
Woo. Well, okay, ATS, Antonio T. Smith Jr.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's gonna do 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Not just him, though.
Who?
Not just him. You got Tempest Smith. You got Deanna Mitchell. You got Brian Johnson.
Are
Brian
you gonna be on it? Are
Johnson.
you?
I think I am too.
Okay.
Aren't you?
So yes, I am.
Yes.
I am.
And then we got Shannon Clark. Yes.
Shannon Clark.
Shannon Clark.
Shannon
okay.
Clark.
Okay.
Yeah.
All these people
Did you
are
say
too.
Deanna?
I said Deanna.
Yeah, okay.
When
You
we
said
say
Deanna.
Deanna.
Rainbows.
Rainbows.
She's gonna shoot
Caramel.
rainbows through
Yes.
your screen,
Yes.
everybody.
That's it.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm excited.
Yes.
24 hours a day, 7 days.
24. That's it.
You know
July
what?
16th
I bet
to the
you
23rd.
we were.
Okay, hey everyone. In this training video, I am going to talk to you really quick about something that's very, very important. Whether you're a millionaire, a billionaire, a zillionaire, if that really exists, you have to know how to build and establish proper relationships. If people don't have a strong, trusted relationship with you, they're not going to trust you with their dreams. They're not going to trust you with their money. They're not going to trust your product. Now, granted, I'll go into Target tomorrow and spend whatever I need to spend in Target. I have no idea who the CEO is. I have no idea who owns it, what kind of person they are, but that's Target. 9 times out of 10, you're like me and you're starting a small business. Your business is small. People have to see your face. They have to hear your voice, and they see your character. If you don't know how to build a proper relationship with them, if you're not authentic in your relationship building, then are they going to be responsive to you? Are they going to be responsive to your product? And will you get to know who you're selling to, who you're servicing? I don't think so. So I was doing a little research and I came across the 4 things that we run into that causes us to have relationship problems, whether it be in an intimate relationship, a family relationship, or even a business relationship. The first one is that we have unrealistic expectations. What we realize, and what Antonio has even taught, is that you can't get into a relationship with anybody and expect them to be anybody than what you required them to be when you got into the relationship with them. So to get in a relationship with someone and then get angry because they are not something that they never have been, that's an unrealistic expectation. And you can't do that when building relationships. You can't do that when building relationships in business, and you can't do it when you're building personal relationships. You have to have realistic expectations, and the only realistic expectation is that person needs to be accepted for the person they were when you met them and accepted the relationship that came with them. Number 2, we sometimes get caught up in searching outside of us for what's inside of us. I want to be in a relationship because I want happiness. I want to be in a relationship, this relationship, because I need financial security. I want to be in this relationship because I need my ego to be rubbed. All of that, you need to settle on the inside of you and not search for it on the outside of you. Happiness, we hear it all the time, is an inside job. You need to be financially secure on your own. Nobody outside of you should be responsible for those types of things, especially if you're an adult. So don't search on the outside of you for what's in you. Go within. The next one, number 3, we like to participate in a conflict relay instead of a conflict resolution. The minute a relationship gets a little static, the minute things get a little shaky, we want to take off running. Every relationship you get in is not meant to be ran away from. Now, granted, some of them are, but we run more than we resolve. And so you need to resolve to resolve. Sit down and communicate and work through conflict. Don't always run from it. Some of the best relationships start off in the most conflict, the head-butting, the resistance, all of that. Some of the greatest relationships start off like that, and they include that as you matriculate, as you get closer, as the relationship gets stronger. Conflict is going to happen. You don't always have to run from it. Sometimes it's okay to resolve it. And then last, we get stuck in wanting to be right. This is something that struck me really hard because Antonio, with grooming me and mentoring me, I have to always be right. And he told me, do you want to be right or do you want to be rich? So I'm going to tell you, in your relationships, do you want them to be right or do you want them to be rich? I would much more prefer a relationship that is rich than a relationship that is right. And so you have to let go of the need to always want to be right about everything and focus on building a rich relationship. So those are the 4 things. Now, I understand that that's all kind of difficult. You know, we struggle with those types of things, but you struggle with it because you won't do the work to create it. If you do the work to create the types of relationships that you want, then they will be authentic. And when it's authentic, that means it can be trusted. If something is not authentic, meaning you didn't really create it or it's not really what you wanted, then it's going to fail. It's going to crumble. It's not going to work out because you don't trust it. We trust what we create, what we work to create. The relationship that I have with my child, I trust because I've fostered it, I've nurtured it, I've created it to be what I want our mother-son relationship to be. The relationship I have with my bosses, it's a relationship that I created. Now, I don't tell them what to do. That's what you have to realize. I know that I created it because I have a good relationship with myself. And if I have a good relationship with myself, then it's easy for me to create good relationships with those around me, regardless of how they are. Because if they don't fit with my relationship and what I want in a relationship, then I simply allow them to be who they are, and I don't build a relationship with them. I keep it principal counselor. I keep it church member. You don't have to be my ace boon coon in these circles. But if you're going to build a rich relationship with me, then there are some character traits that you have to have. There are some practices that you have to have. That's because I created it. And you can do the same thing. If you want to be successful, if you want to not have to protect everything that you build, then work on being able to build authentic, rich relationships that serve you and the person or the entity that you're in a relationship with. Thank you for your time. I hope this has been helpful. Y'all take care. Bye.
I want to talk to you now about cold calling. This is your introduction into cold calling. This is your introduction into cold calling, and there is nothing more important than cold calling. I understand that you've went to the internet and they have told you you don't need to call no more. The phone call is a dinosaur. Do this ClickFunnels. And if you do this ClickFunnels, you won't need to do anything else no more. And just create you a landing page and a lead capture. I get all that, and all of that is true, and we will cover that in this university. However, one fact will always remain true as the sky is blue, as the sun is a big ball of fire, and as true as taxes will plague you for the rest of your life. Conversations create clients. You cannot have a proper conversation over a keyboard. I get it. I know you dated her all through text message. I understand that you dated him on text message, but you were not selling him a $15,000 product. The people who are great at this have sales teams like mine, which you will hear from in this episode. The people who are great at this, they understand, first and foremost, fundamentally, and most importantly, that conversations create clients. You got to get on the phone. Whether it be cold or warm, you get on the phone. At this point, we're so good, I can just randomly go to a phone book. I know, they still exist though. They do. They really do. They really do exist. I can randomly go to a phone book, pick a number, pick a name of any culture, and keep that person on the phone for 20 to 30 minutes and sell them something. See, when we go through a cold selling process, your options are yes, 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 and my lowest yes possible. Even if you have to hang up, you don't hang up on me. Oh, great. I'm so glad you have to hang up. Listen, when is a good time for me to call you back? That's a yes for me. I'm simply scheduling an appointment. Cold calling is hard to do. So I want to give you 5 things. If you're struggling with cold calling, if you don't know what to do, I want to tell you right now, read a book on cold calling. There's plenty of them. Plenty of them out there. You can Google prospecting. You can go on an Audible app if it's an Audible book or audio book, but the name of that app is Audible. However you want to do it, cold sales, closing sales, prospecting. Number 2, find you someone that's great at cold calling. This will no longer be a problem for you. If you can find someone who is great at cold calling, then you would not need to have a learning curve that is so hard for you. Number 3, record all of your cold calls so you can hear how you sound and make improvements. You want to be able to hear how you sound so you can make immediate and drastic improvements on your sales delivery. Number 4, get a coach. Yes, someone like me. You need to get a coach that will help you in the cold market thing. And buy a cold calling program CD or sales calling CD. Zig Ziglar has them. Everyone has them. You want to be crushing it, as Gary Vee would say, on cold calls. We're going to talk about warm calls, but we also going to talk about cold calls for the first part of this class that you have now. So what I want to do is, I want to give you, number 5 was buy a CD on cold calling. Buy a CD, buy a book, or CD series. It doesn't have to be a book, but it could be a CD series. Now, what I want to do at this time is I want to bring up to you Bryant A. Johnson. He started off not well at cold calling, but now today he is a beast and a master closer. So let's listen to him as we can lend the floor to Bryant Johnson and see what he has to say about cold calling.
First, let me say thank you for this opportunity to come on your show.
I do appreciate
and
it.
help these people become the success that
Thank
they
you.
need to be. Hey, listen, cold calling. The first thing you need to understand with cold calling is that you never meet a stranger. Nobody is nobody that you don't know. Anybody that you call, whether you know their name or not, you know them before you even call them. Reason being is because the way the universe works, you're already going to get somebody you know, and they're already going to have something in common with you when you pick up the phone and call them. The next thing about cold calling is remember to be yourself. Be funny. If you have charisma, utilize it. Don't be timid. Don't be shy. Always remember, these people know you. They love you, and they really want to buy from you. But the third thing is to remember this. Are you worthy of them purchasing your product? Always remember that, because when you're cold calling, you're not only selling the product, you're first selling your voice. So ensure that your voice is worthy of them buying the product, because you never meet a stranger. Everybody, you already know them, and they already know you. They're expecting for you to call. They're expecting to be sold. But make your voice worthy of them buying it. That's my time.
That's really good. That's really good. Hold on, before you go, because you brought up a good point, I want you to give me the first 5 seconds of on the phone call with you. Give us that energy that you do. That they
First 5 seconds phone call with me. Hello, my name is Brian Johnson. I am with the Les Brown Institute. How are you doing today? Listen, off top, my energy just killed you. I don't care what mood you're in. I don't care how you're feeling. Because I called you with super 1,000 energy, I just literally blew your mind. If you were sad, I just shocked the H out of you. And that just got your attention. The first 5 seconds of any phone call is an attention grabber. And if you call them, hello, my name is Brian Johnson, and I'm calling on behalf of the ATS JR companies, they're going to be like, well, Brian Johnson, I don't want to talk to you. You don't sound excited about the product you're selling. But when I call them, I say, hello, my name is Brian Johnson, and I'm calling on behalf of the ATS JR companies. How are you doing today by any chance? Are you Mary Beckwith? You understand what I'm saying? The energy in the first 5 seconds of every call will determine the duration of that phone call.
That's it. Thank you,
sir.
Brian. Thank you
Appreciate
very much.
that.
Yes, sir. That's it. That's it. That's
Thank
it.
you, sir.
That's it. That's Brian Johnson right there. Yes. He's absolutely correct. He brought up a lot of great things. Did you understand that over and over he told you that there are no strangers?
Yeah,
he believes that. So he does not meet a stranger when he's on a phone call. I know you perceive them as strangers, but not Brian, and that's why his conversion rate is at a 35 to 40% conversion rate. That is outstanding. Next, I want to bring up to you Michelle, our secret weapon. Yes. So Michelle started off afraid of cold calling, but now she is a master salesperson.
Cold calling just made my brain freeze. I froze. It made my whole brain freeze. It made my mind freeze. I would just think rejection, low self-confidence, low self-esteem. And really, it's not that. It's easy. It's simple. It is simple as actually having a conversation with somebody. You're there to make them feel important because they are important. They are your customer. They're your customer before they even know it. And you treat them as your customer. You have one chance only to make an impression. So they're not rejecting you. They're rejecting a product that they don't know nothing about. And it's your job to befriend them because they are your friend. They are your friend. A lot of people I still keep in contact with. They may not have bought my product that day, but they will buy it. I guarantee that. I guarantee it. They will buy it. It's simple.
That's it. Good job there. Yes. Thank you very much, Michelle. She brought up a great point. She brought up a few great points, but I'll end on the last one. A no today only means it's an acronym. No is an acronym for next opportunity. That's it. In the ATS JR companies, no only means next opportunity. Yes, we will stay your friend. And when you buy, we will continue to be your friend, even if it takes you 8 years to buy from us. Next, I want to bring up to you a celebrity publicist. She has 2 celebrity clients right now. Her name is Deanna Mitchell. She's the CEO of the D. Marie Group. She's also my lead publicist. Yes. She's my lead publicist. And she is a master closer. Deanna, tell us how you started and some nuggets that we can have.
Thank you for the wonderful introduction. So I was not a cold caller, period. Put me on a sales call, I freeze up instantly. Using your system and using what you set up definitely helped me. The one thing you said was the best way to get over butterflies is to make the first call. And that's what I did. And you also said be yourself. And like Michelle said, they're not saying no to you, they're saying no to their dreams. That helped me as well because I was a big person on rejection. I didn't want to make sales calls because I didn't want to be rejected. So going through the process that he taught us, as well as the wonderful script that he he wrote, definitely helped me because it helped you get more in line with who you were talking to. It forced you to become friends with them. And like I said, like Michelle said, there's still some that I talk to today, and because of that, you build a rapport. Conversations create clients. Sometimes they don't buy from you off top if they don't feel comfortable with you, but if you talk to them and you make them the most important person that you talk to that day, they will get that from you. And you definitely have to do it with high energy, and that's another thing that I learned from you. Answer when you first go on. Have a smile on your face. Hey, how are you doing today? Yeah, that really gets them too, because I've had people be like, oh, well, hi. You know, I've had people also tell me, you know, to be honest with you, before I even spoke to you, I was in low spirits, but after speaking with you, I feel better. It's because you talk to them within high energy. You don't match where they are. You always be above where they are when you're speaking with them. And I learned that from you and your system. So thank you, because now I know not only can I be the best at what I do as a publicist because of your mentorship and your teachings, but now as a salesperson, there's nothing I can't do.
All right, well, that's it right there. Welcome, Deanna Mitchell. Thank you very much. Yes, this is awesome. This is awesome. What I want to do is just show you simply that cold calling is not as a dinosaur as you believe. It is actually the most masterful way to make money. Cold calling is what you need to do to make money. Warm calling is what you can also do that keep money and then make your life a lot easier. Yes. These were 3 of my sales teams, and not all, but just 3. All of them have conversion rates over 20 to 30% and even more. That is a dynamic thing that you can do, and it's what you can have. You can plant better. You can dominate.